And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today, we're going to talk about creating a new foundation for your masculinity with semen retention and NoFap. It is critical to understand where you come from, why you are where you are today, so that you can decide your future. You must know where you come from. Who are you? Who you are today is who you are today. Depending upon what kind of problems you have, you are able to decide if you're happy or not. You can decide if these are the problems that you would love to keep having in your life forever. Because if they are, then you can just remain who you are. No problem. But if the problems you have today are problems you want to have be part of your past, you want to get rid of those problems, you want to create new problems, you want to move into the future having solved smaller problems in order to solve bigger problems, then you need to change. You need to change your thinking. You need to change how you feel. You need to change who you are at the core. That's what we're talking about today. Before we move on, though, we have to simply define masculinity and femininity. People are confused out there today. They are confused. Why is that? Because the world is going through a transformation that it has never gone through before, because of technology, because of being able to broadcast information throughout the entire world. And it affects all of us. Let's define it. Masculinity is to be able to control perfectly your emotions. You have full, complete control over your emotions. That's masculinity. Always remember that. Femininity is the polar opposite. It's to not have any control over one's emotions. People say that we're emotional creatures. I agree. Now we have to figure out, which one do we want to be? Do we want to have full, complete control over our emotions? Or do we want to let go and not have control over our emotions at all? You get to choose that. Now that's the fun part. Let's go into that. Should you therefore encourage masculinity in men? I would say yes. And if women are polar opposite, should we encourage masculinity in women? I would say no. The reason why is because women are completely different from us. Completely different. They kind of look the same, but they don't. A real woman will be completely different from a man. Yes, we're still humans, but we're different. Our emotional makeup is completely different. A woman will be happy when she's feminine. Happiness breeds femininity in women. Masculinity breeds happiness in men. When men are able to control themselves and have power over themselves and have power in general to do, to become, to achieve, to provide, to protect, that's what makes men happy. So if you understand that principle of emotional control and the lack of emotional control, then we can move ahead into the future being fired up about life. Masculinity in women should be discouraged, and femininity in women should be encouraged. Masculinity in men should be encouraged, and femininity in men should be discouraged. So what are some things that are feminine in our culture? Oh, this is quite interesting. You should ask yourself this question. Are you interested in masculine things, or are you interested in feminine things? Right now, listen, this is the Men of High Value channel. I'm talking to men right now. Women have their own channel. That's the Girls of High Value channel, by the way. For whoever wants to subscribe there as a man to help me build up that channel and like and comment and all that stuff, great. But that's for the teenage girls out there who want to learn how to become mothers and who want to build families of the future. But right now, I'm talking to men. Are you interested in masculine things, or are you interested in feminine things? Are you interested in providing for others, or are you interested in being provided for by others? This is in terms of governmental things. This is in terms of politics. Are you interested in becoming massively rich? Or are you interested in taking money from the rich to provide for you? Are you masculine or are you feminine? Only feminine guys vote for socialism because they want to be provided for. They don't want to provide. The rich, guess what? They vote for capitalism because they want to provide. But they think it's ridiculous that they should be providing for men who should be providing for themselves. Are you out there creating jobs or having a job? It's a masculine thing to do. Or are you on welfare? If you're on welfare, it's a feminine thing. You need to get out of there as fast as possible. Quickly. Believe it or not, even handicapped people can get jobs. Like there's a fantastic place right here in Oslo, right next to, yeah, you won't know, you're global. But there's a place where handicapped people are basically doing work. Low-wage labor, but they're actually progressing, they're learning, but they're handicapped. It's like Down syndrome people and things like that. That's a beautiful thing because they are providing for themselves at the same time as they probably get some help from the government as well. But that's what we want to create. We want to encourage masculinity and we want to discourage femininity. You have to ask yourself these hard, important questions. Another one. Are you easily offended? Or is it very hard to offend you? If you're masculine, it will be very hard to offend you. Why? Because you're emotionally stable. Like, if someone tries to offend you, it's going to be like a dent in your emotions. It's like small, like, who cares? You're like, okay, great. So now I know who this person is. I guess I'm not doing business with him anymore. No problem. I don't care. You know, it's just like, you know, it's a distraction. It's mosquito, if you watched my video yesterday. Okay, so, but if you're offended, like, you understand that that's feminine to be offended. I had someone 2 days ago commented on my one of my videos talking about it's a great, you know, great content here, but you should be treading lightly when it comes to femininity in men. No! This is what my channel is about. It's about tearing out the feminine out of you. Tearing out the femininity that's been growing in you for years. And bringing out the strong, masculine power, that untapped potential that you have within you. Moving on. Are you interested in protecting, or are you interested in being protected? Are you strong, or are you weak? If you're weak, it's feminine. If you're strong, you're masculine. Your goal should continuously and always be to strive for masculinity in everything that you do. Masculinity is excellence. Masculinity is success. It's power. It's being able to provide, to protect, to control, to be able to do. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're a good person. So that you can help people. The more power you have, the more people you can help. The less power you have, the more powerless you are. How many people can you help? You can't. You've got to ask yourself these important questions. Are you interested in STEM? If you don't know what STEM is, look it up. Or are you interested in the arts? Are you interested in STEM, or are you interested in the arts? I coach people. That's what I do. I'm a life coach for very affordable, by the way, for $297 per month. I follow up with you on a daily basis, and we have weekly coaching, and I make you progress faster than you've ever done in your entire life. Exponential growth coaching, okay? But you know my problem is my coaching clients, mostly they are from this channel, and I have some others as well. What I've noticed is that 80 to 90% of the people that I coach love the arts. I'm not talking to you specifically now. I'm talking to all my coaching clients and all those that are not my coaching clients and all of you in the future who will be my coaching clients. There's something wrong when 80 to 90% of the men that I coach love the arts. We're talking music, we're talking entertainment industry, we're talking movies, we're talking the arts. Where does that come from? Who are you? Where did you come from? What has happened in the past that has made you interested in the arts instead of being interested in STEM? Do you know? Are you asking yourself these tough questions? I'm not saying that there aren't masculine people in the arts, because, you know, like if you're talking about the movie makers, like for example, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, all those guys are not movie makers. They made their hobby into a business. They made a business out of it. It's the business aspect that creates masculinity. What is business? Business is sales. Business is understanding money. Business is understanding people and leadership. That's why those people are wealthy and successful and at the apex or epitome of, if those are even words, of masculinity and of success. We see employees, people with very good skills, becoming very successful in Hollywood and basically celebrities all over the planet. And some of them are very feminine. How is that possible? The reason why is because they have skills. It's not that they're leaders very often. Sometimes they are, okay? The truly successful, you can see that they're masculine. You can see that they understand business and that they do things the right way. For example, Jay-Z is a good example of that. Now, he's probably somewhat emotional because he's got a masculine wife, but in some ways, they manage to make things work. But he's a businessman more than he is a hip-hop artist. Does that make sense? Once you strive for business, once you strive for masculinity, everything in your life will change. I'm not saying don't be a movie maker, don't be an artist, don't enjoy playing the guitar or playing music. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that that is your hobby that you want to make a lot of money from. Great. Make a business out of it. Business. That's the masculine thing. It provides, it protects, and it puts you in control of your future. If you're only focusing on becoming the best that you can at the guitar or the best that you can at shooting movies, there's no business there. Have you ever, let's talk about McDonald's for a second. Robert Kiyosaki mentions this all the time. He says, do you make a better burger than McDonald's? Yes, then why aren't you richer than McDonald's? Because McDonald's put it into a system, duplicated itself, leadership-based, and systemized, sold it throughout the entire planet. That's why your burger, in terms of sales and marketing, sucks. The quality of it is awesome, but no one knows about it. It's in obscurity, it's in darkness, and it's selfish that you're keeping that burger to yourself. Do you understand? There's a world of McDonald's people out there who would love to have superior products, but if your burger is fantastic, it's your hobby, you like cooking, they are suffering and they're dying en masse because of McDonald's burgers. Okay? Knock on wood, McDonald's doesn't knock on my door and sue me for this video, okay? Remind me to put this video down before, I become massively successful. But you understand the point. Your role as a man is to be masculine and to create a business and to learn sales. I'm going to talk about that a lot these next few weeks and months and years because this is masculinity we're talking about here. Okay, so the past. Where does your masculinity come from? We are living in a feminized society today. This is not a patriarchal society. This is a feministic society, which means that you will be bombarded with emasculation and feminization of men on a daily basis. You will see it around. Hey, guys are feminine. Guys are homosexuals. Interesting. Okay. And then you see TV and you see the news. You see everything is talking about, toxic masculinity and masculinity is bad and men are bad and they should all become like women and competitive and women should be, put on pedestals. Where is that going to lead us? It's going to make men feminine and it's going to make women masculine. Okay. Do you remember? Women who are masculine are not happy. And if they are happy, it's temporarily because we haven't used up the rich people's money yet. We haven't used up the government's money yet. You'll always run out of other people's money. What happens once there's financial collapse and war erupts? Are we going to longer... those women are not going to be happy at that moment in time. The only reason why they're happy is because they have a job that provides. The moment that job is gone, those women are freaking out. Not only that, but the women who have jobs hate their jobs most of their time. And they're being encouraged anyway to be independent. It's a problem. It's going to affect their happiness. They might be happy for a short time, but is it short-term happiness we're trying for? No. We're trying for long-term happiness, exponential growth happiness. That's not going to happen if you get happiness there. It's going to be an exponential decline if you seek for freedom first and bondage later. Same thing with men. If you allow femininity in you, it's going to create an exponential decline. Again, where does it come from? Feminized society, a fatherless society. 40% of kids these days are born to single mothers. What's going to happen? Those single mothers are going to talk badly about guys. And if they don't talk badly about guys, those kids are going to grow up watching bad guys date their mother, use their mother, and then leave. Or the mother is going to basically get, depressed and upset with these men and gonna blame those men to the kids, and the kids grow up basically believing that men are not trustworthy and men are bad and masculinity sucks. So they're gonna become more and more feminine. Okay. What about religion? Now, this is a touchy subject because my family's religious. I'm religious too. I'm a Christian, okay? It's important to understand that. But I do also understand that Christianity, in the form it's preached today, is very focused on emotions. Is very focused on expressing your emotions. It's very focused on women becoming masculine. Women being leadership, like put it in leadership positions. Women disciplining themselves to control themselves. I don't believe in that. Women should be allowed to be feminine, to be bubbly, to be themselves, to vent, to swear, to basically get their anger out, to not control themselves. The only way we're going to get women to get to the other side of masculinity is through failure, right? In order to become successful, you have to go through failure. In order to get to heaven, you've got to go through hell, which means for temporarily, we're going to see women batshit crazy because we allow them to not control themselves, and we take it. We take it like men. We let them hit us. We let them scratch us. We let them push us around, but we stand still like an immovable tree, like the sun that shines. And we let them do it anyhow, because we know that they will figure out we're emotionally stable. Nothing you can do to me is going to hurt me. And that will give that woman freedom. She will get freedom from it because she actually can be who she truly is. She's not putting up a facade. She's not putting on a mask of, oh, this guy's going to leave me if I actually tell him the truth of how she truly feels. We need the truth, guys. The truth is, you should always take the truth. You should always want the truth. You should always seek for the truth because the truth is ugly. But you can never solve the problem unless you've got the truth. What on earth does this have to do with NoFap and semen retention? It's got everything to do with NoFap and semen retention because we're talking about creating a foundation of emotional stability. If you're watching porn and masturbate and you're masturbating, your emotions are going to be up and down like this all the time. You're going to be a needy little bitch. And it's not going to work. Your life is not going to work, man. Have you seen all those rich people who actually become successful and then they suck at relationships? There's someone else who commented on one of my videos and said, hey, but what about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and those guys? You're basically saying you're better than them because, you know, you're saying that, you know, they couldn't handle their relationships. I will never listen to a divorced guy about how to handle my relationships. Understand who you're listening to, guys. You've got to listen to guys who are actually loving their relationships and where the woman in the relationship is massively and passionately in love with her husband. Those are the guys you want to learn about or learn from when it comes to relationships. Now, in terms of business, yeah, let's learn from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, but they suck at retaining their women, obviously. Even with money. That's ridiculous. Do you understand? Emotional stability will win the game and allowing women to be feminine. If you don't allow women to be feminine, you're going to basically push them towards masculinity, which will reinforce femininity in you. You will be her polar opposite. Always. So the more you strive for masculinity, the more feminine the women around you will be. There's a whole science to this. Oh my gosh. When it comes to religion, it's made you soft. So you've got to figure out, focus on masculinity. You can practice your religion and still focus on masculinity, by the way. The government, school programs, teachers, everything is built in order to feminize our men. I am basically trying to help create a movement that can be the antidote for that. But a movement that doesn't blame feminism, that doesn't blame women, because it's not their frickin' fault. It is men's fault for being girls, for being small little bitches and growing up the way they have. But fortunately, we can change that. You can change that today. You can actually decide, I'm going for masculinity, I'm going for power, I'm going for ambition, I'm going for riches, and I'm putting aside childish things. I'm putting away hobbies that are not going to create money. I'm going to go for life-changing things because, think about this entertainment thing one more time. Does it solve problems? Okay? Are there people out there who are like, oh, I don't have good music in my life. It's horrible. No, they don't. I wish I could have a good movie. They all suck. Do you understand? You're not solving a true problem. The true problem out there is that people are getting killed. People are getting run over by military people in Venezuela. People are like killing each other. There's mass shootings. And do you understand? And you're thinking about music and making movies. How on earth is that masculine? You've got to ask yourself these questions. Look around what's going on. And let's together create a community of masculine men. Men of high value who are content, who are happy, but who seek to raise up a generation of happy people. Being happy is not feminine, by the way. It's not Pollyanna. Being happy means that you are emotionally stable at a productive level. Being unhappy is no good for anyone. Happiness for men is being masculine. Happiness for women is being feminine. We want to make everyone happy, and the universe has created a system whereby everyone can be happy if we apply the correct principles. NoFap and semen retention is the foundation to build your masculinity. You started out as a feminine little boy, and then you entered into the testosterone producing semen production, which is awesome, but you are wasting it through porn and masturbation instead of retaining that testosterone, retaining that masculinity, and using it for emotional stability and to solve the world's problems. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Make sure to please like and subscribe and comment down below. Commenting down below and pushing that like button massively, absolutely massively helps the algorithm, guys. Do it every single time. And I'm going to try to remind myself to ask you guys to do that twice or 3 or 4 times per episode. It's going to get old until everyone understands that this message is important and it needs to get out. My name is Joseph Darling. This is the Men of High Value channel. I'll speak to you again tomorrow, for sure.